Check for this is live. It's working. There we go. Okay, amazing. I am so excited. It's day 4. I can't believe it's like the fourth training at Hall 4 already. Not joking, it's freezing here. It's so cold today. Um, so yeah, big picture on and feeling all of the winter vibes. But yeah, I just can't believe we're on the fourth one. So I think I might have to do an extra few drops, but we will see where that takes us. But I am really excited for today. So if today is the first one you're catching, there has been 3 other trainings. So there is the Quantum CEO method, aligning your energy with higher level clients, money mindset mastery, reprogramming your subconscious for success, and high vibe business systems, structuring your business for flow and freedom. Those are all in the top of the group within the featured posts, pinned posts. This one will also be going up there. They will stay there until the end of the month, at which point you can still get hold of them, but you will need to head over to the website femaleentrepreneurshub.com and claim them from there. So you're still going to be able to get your hands on them all, but they will stay in the group until the end of November. And the calls are still available. So if you want to jump in and grab one of the free one-to-one soulful leadership calls where we are looking at money, energetics, simple aligned strategy, quantum leap in your revenue, stepping into everything that you have been desiring but have been holding back from, these calls are for you. At the moment, they have 100% free. All you need to do is head to the link. Let me see if I can pop it. Let me get the link and see if I can pop it in the chat. On some of the videos, it's not let me do it live, and on some of them it has. So let's see. All you need to do is, it looks like it's going to work. Head to the link in the chat, click into the link, select the day and time that work for you. I've cleared out so much space to be able to do these, and answer a few questions. And that is literally it. The ones that I've had already have just been absolutely incredible. And I'm already getting messages from women who are saying, oh, I've done this and I've done this and I've done this. So I'm super, super, super excited. Other thing is the new Facebook group. So this Facebook group is not going anywhere. The new Facebook group is going to be much smaller, much more intimate. It is going to be a community where the anticipation is that you will show up, you will have conversations. I am going to be delivering trainings in there. I'm going to be creating events that are in person. There is going to be some really exciting things going in there. The numbers are going to be capped in that group though, because I want to keep it small enough that I know everybody in that group and I can have conversations with everybody in that group. So I'm just waiting for Facebook to allow it to be a private group rather than a public, because for some reason it takes 3 days to change it over. And then that will be opening. So if you haven't already voted in the poll inside this Facebook group, go click into the poll, say you want to join. If the poll has already closed by the time you're listening to the replay of this, just head into the main Facebook group. The link will be in there for you to join the main one, the new one, and providing we haven't already reached numbers limits, you'll be allowed in there. If we have reached numbers limits, as members disengage with the group, as it's not the right space for them anymore, we will be welcoming new people in. So you will get the chance to come in. Okay, I am excited to jump in today. So, quantum goal setting, but this is taking it from a space of mindset, from a space of manifestation, taking inspired action, rather than just sitting and creating the money and the strategy goals. You will have seen my trainings on those. This is not another one of those. This is not, we're going to look at how much money you want to earn in the next month, in the next 12 months. This is not, we're going to create a strategy to do that. This is going at it from a slightly different thinking. Okay, so if you go into the group, you search strategy goals, things like that, you will see lots of my trainings come up on those. This is looking at it from a slightly different viewpoint. Okay, let's dive in. Anyway, otherwise I'm going to get sidetracked on explaining and not get into the training. I want to keep this on time for you as well. So when we're thinking about quantum goal setting is setting goals from a different space. We quite often come at goal setting from a financial, a this is how many people I want in my audience, this is how many conversions I want, all of that stuff. When you come at it from you, from inside you, from allowing yourself to feel into what feels really good from your own consciousness rather than this is what I need, allowing yourself to sit with what feels really good for you, you set goals from a different space. And you set ones that you can really get behind, because how often have you set, I'm going to make X amount of money in the next 12 months, or I'm going to get this many people into my new Facebook group, or I'm going to get this many people onto my list, or I'm going to earn this much money in this launch. And you're doing it because it's something you feel you should, rather than something that feels really good within your own consciousness. And then you don't do it because it's not something you can get behind. When you're setting that goal, no matter what that goal is, no matter how big, how small it is, and you're setting it from inside you in a place that feels really good and in a place where you can really connect with that, see the potential, see the perspectives of it, really get into that. You can really set that with an intention that you can influence in reality, because you can get your energy behind it and do that inspired action that makes the difference. You can get behind it and you can embrace the thoughts behind it. You can embrace the energy behind it that makes the difference. That's when you start to really hit those goals. And this is why I'm saying it doesn't matter how big or how small they are. The next big goal for you over the next 12 months might be 10K months, seeing as everybody seems to be going for 10K months. But actually, if in your own consciousness you can't get behind that, if that feels too big, too far away, if 12 months is too far, you're never gonna hit those 10K months, because you're never going to be able to get your own energetic level behind that. You're never going to be able to get the inspired action there and see the potential, see the opportunities to be able to hit those, because it's too far away. It's not something you can get behind. If inside you think, yeah, that's what I want, but actually, what feels really good at the moment is getting to 4K next. That's the goal that you work towards. And it doesn't matter that everybody else is shouting about 10. If that's what feels really good to you energetically, that's what you go towards next, because that's what you can get your energetic alignment behind. That's where you can get really intentional. That's where you can get your energy and your own mindset and your own belief system behind what that's going to create. And that's what makes the difference. It's all well and good to sit and write a strategy, but if you can't really get behind that with your whole being, it's just a lot of stuff written on a piece of paper that looks really good, that in theory you can do. Doesn't matter if you can do it in theory. If you can't get behind that 100%, you're never going to do it. And it doesn't matter, like I said, how small that is. You've got to be able to get your own mindset behind that. If you can't get your own belief system behind that, you're never going to see the opportunities and the possibilities. We've talked a few times over the last few trainings about how your subconscious, it takes its beliefs, takes what it believes is reality from your conscious. Your conscious creates your reality. Your conscious creates the thoughts, emotions, the specific energetic frequencies, all of that stuff, because it's telling your subconscious all of the information it needs. If you cannot get you behind that goal that you've set, if you cannot get your conscious behind that goal you've set, it's never going to give your subconscious the information it needs to create that reality externally. You've got to be able to get your inner state behind it before you can get that external desired outcome. If you are constantly thinking, actually, I know I need to do this, but it feels, I know that's my goal, but it feels, there's never going to be any intentionality behind what you do. What happens is when you've got those buts, then you're just creating a filter, effectively, Go on Instagram, we all put a filter on to make ourselves look a little bit more human on a morning. But that's not reality. That's not really how you look. You're seeing it through a different lens. When you cannot get intentional behind that goal, behind that thing that you really want to do, it's the same thing. You're putting a filter up. You're not getting behind that thing that you really want because there's something in the way. And that something in the way is your belief. So if you can't get your belief behind what you've put on your paper for 2025, time to change it. If you're hearing that self-doubt come in, if you're hearing that imposter come in, yes, you need to work on those, yeah. But equally change the goal so you don't have as much there. Because when you've got that inner critic behind you in your own head, you're not going to be able to achieve all that you want to achieve. When you're thinking of this from your own internal, it's not when you write it down on paper and it's all like a linear process and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this and I'm going to do this. We don't work like that. We're humans, we're emotional. It's never going to work like that. But the more you can get behind it, the more linear you can make it. There is always going to be things that are going to throw you off task. Always going to be things where you think, I wish I'd done that. Or, oh, what if I'd done that? Or, oh, shiny object syndrome, I'm just going to go off in that direction for a week and then I'll come back. There's always going to be those things, but it's being able to pull yourself back to that central. If you can really get behind that goal that you've set, those things that you're going to do, you can start when those limiting beliefs come up to be able to deconstruct them. You can start to think, oh, that's interesting. Where's that come from? You can recognize that those limiting beliefs are changeable. You think of them like, I don't know, Play-Doh. You get a particular shape and you can create something else from it. You can reconstruct it into something else. And it's the same with your limiting thoughts, your limiting beliefs, those patterns that don't serve you. If you are really 100% behind what it is that you are going to achieve, create, whatever that might be, as those limiting beliefs and patterns and behaviors come up, you're able to recognize them. You're able to recognize sometimes where they come from, not always, but you're able to think, I can change that. I can transform that narrative from being negative or fear-based or whatever that might be into something more empowered. Are you ever going to get rid of them 100%? Probably not, no. Because every time we hit a new level, every time we do something else, these things come back up again. They come back up in different ways. But being able to transform it into empowerment for the now, for what you're currently working on. We do so much of this work inside entrepreneurial success codes because being able to reprogram your conscious, your subconscious on a deep level is so important because it moves you past all of this stuff that comes up for you. It moves you past the ego. Like I said, the 10K months. Everyone's shouting about 10K months online. That's ego driven. I want that because they've got it. Oh, they've had a really good launch with that, so I'm going to go do that. Everyone's talking about passive income, I'm going to jump into passive income. Everyone's talking about an email list, I'm going to set up an email list. Everyone's on TikTok, so I'm going to go to TikTok. That person started before I did, and they've made more money than I have, and they're doing this thing, so I'm going to do that as well. All of those things are us being driven by our egos rather than what really we're connected with, what really matters to us, because we're so ingrained with everything that goes on around us. Even more so with social media, because we're constantly fed so much stuff online. It's easy for us to fall into having ego-driven goals rather than soul-driven goals, goals that really light us up, the things that we really want to achieve. And those are the goals that you really need to tap into. And if you don't know what that is, I find it really useful to sit and do like some meditations, visualizations, things like that, because they bring me back to my why. I sent out an audio to those of you that requested it in video 1, I think it was. If you didn't get the audio, just drop me a DM with the word audio, drop it into the chat, whatever works for you, and we'll send you over that, because it's a future visualization, and that's really helpful just to help you think, where would I be? How would I be showing up? How would I energetically be? What's the potential? If you can put yourself into that energetic space, you are much more likely to see actually what is it that really, really matters to you? Where do you really want to be? You know, allow yourself to just mind map it out. Grab a piece of paper and write down all of the things that you would love to achieve. It doesn't have, don't be drawn in by what should you do. So often we get drawn in by the should. I should be doing this. Why should you be doing that? Who says? Where's the rule book that says that's what you should be doing? So just allow yourself to write down everything, all the possibilities, and then look at actually which one am I most drawn to at the moment, which one's next. Because that's what it is, it's that what next. Which one's next? What pathway can I take to get there? You know, detach yourself from the outcome. What if it didn't happen? What if it happened in a different way? You know, so often we get pulled off track, but it's not wrong. It's just you're embracing getting to your destination in a different way. Being open to what could happen. Being open to actually, yes, this is a 12-month goal, but it could happen in 6 months, it could happen in 24 months. It's trusting in the goal, not necessarily the timelines. It's allowing yourself to just believe beyond that surface level. You know, when you started your business, what was that true, deep, core mission that you had? What was that total purpose? What was that calling that called you into doing what you're doing? If you're not going towards that, why not? What's pulled you off track? What's changed? What makes your soul feel alive in your business? You know, what are you doing that really lights you up? What at the moment are you finding really challenging? What's holding you back that you're ready to move past, you're ready to let go of? If you're really stuck with this goal setting side of it and what you want to do and how you want to get there, like look at it from the bigger picture. It doesn't just have to be money goals, business goals. What are your goals for your own personal development, your own personal expansion? What are your goals for yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, within your relationships, within your finances, within your career fulfillment? Really look at that and think, right, what do I want? Yep. If you normally do 12 months, but it feels too big and scary, can you do 30 days? Can you do a 30-day goal? What feels really good for you energetically over the next 30 days? What limiting patterns are you noticing coming up that you can break over the next 30 days? What are those micro transformations, those micro goals, rather than looking at the really big ones? What skills do you want to develop? Once you know the 30 days, then look at the 90 days. That 90 days, what's that bigger change that you're looking for? What's the bigger upgrades? What are the bigger things that you need to have in place for that? What's the bigger purpose? Then look at that year. Actually, what's the transformation within a year? What's the shift that you're going to make? What are you going to cultivate and create? What's the 3 year? Allow yourself to think really big. And I don't tend to go more than 3 years, because 3 years is enough for you to think, let's think big. But it's not enough for you to think that's too far ahead and too scary. How is your life going to be redesigned in 3 years? What expansion are you going to have gone through? Anything's possible when you allow it to be. When this video finishes, go back over, hit pause, make some notes on this next bit, or actually you could even just make notes as we're going through and then go back through and answer the questions. Some things to think about. Once you've created these goals that you want to do, go back to them and look at, are they really completely soul aligned with you, or are they ego driven? Really start to differentiate between which ones you truly, truly feel pulled to and which ones you're doing because of the should. You know, look at the actions. Out of the actions you've written down that you need to take to hit those goals, which are really driven by your own inner, this is what I need to do. This is what lines me up to do. This is what I feel really good doing. Versus this is what I've seen a strategy, a blueprint, been told I have to do. This is what course has told me I have to do. That's the forced. That when it feels forced, it's driven by the shoulds, the fear, the stress, the external expectations. When it's driven by the this is what I want to do, this feels really good. It might be completely illogical, but it feels really good. That's when it comes from you energetically. That's when it comes from your personal energy. That's when you start to take that inspired action that I talk about so often. That's when it becomes effortless. That's when you start to align back in with that purpose that you had. When you start to create those quantum breakthroughs and you start to create success that's illogical, that's inevitable, because you're working from a place of taking the inspired action that feels good for you rather than the inspired action that you should do. When you can release the should and step into the possibilities, step into what could be possible, step into trusting that no matter how crazy, how illogical, how random something is, if that's what you feel you should be doing deep within you rather than that external should, do it. You know, embrace the fact that it's uncertain. You know, take that time to pause and recenter before you make decisions. Listen to yourself, listen to your energy, listen to your body, listen to all of those things around you, and take those inspired micro actions rather than this great big plan and all of these huge things. What's next? That's all you need. What's next? If you start to lose that, go back. Like I was saying, I tend to go back to like visualizations and meditations, but whatever works for you, go back, really tap into that. If you find that there's blocks and limits and things coming up, go and do some work on neurological reprogramming. Start to recalibrate, start to change those beliefs. Like I said, we do so much on neurological reprogramming, neuroplasticity, transforming your subconscious beliefs, all of those things inside entrepreneurial success codes, because it's something that we have to do if we want to be able to really lean in, really trust, really create the success that we have the potential to create in a way that feels really good to us. Because otherwise you reach a plateau and all this stuff comes up again and you don't have the tools to be able to move forward with it. You've got, when you're doing the goal setting in this way, when you're taking the inspired action in this way, you've got to be able to totally embody where you're going and where you want to be. And that's why it has to come from you. That's why it has to come from what you truly desire, why you truly set out, and not from all of the external shoulds. Celebrating each small step, celebrating each thing that you do, no matter how big or how small, no matter how mundane it might feel. Sit and celebrating the fact you've done that. I redid a load of the website yesterday. It was meant to be a 2-hour update in one page. It ended up as several hours updating the whole website. It was a mundane task. I really enjoyed doing it, but it was a mundane task. But it's something that I can do. It's something I've done time and time again. It would have been easy for me not to celebrate that. But I celebrated it because I wanted to reinforce in my own energy and acknowledge the fact that that was an achievement. I've done that, and that was next. Now what's next? Build that momentum for the next thing. That celebration, that gratitude, that acknowledgement builds the momentum for the next thing. Take some time, what's next? But what's next from tapping back into what you're meant to be doing, where you're meant to be, because so many of us have got pulled off track because of all of the noise, and it's bringing yourself back to that center. If you want help with coming back into that center, if you want help with creating what that plan looks like, what those goals looks like, what that inspired action looks like, make sure you grab one of the calls. The call link is in the chat. Come and have a conversation. Let's work through the energy, the mindset, what that soulful strategy looks like for you that feels really good, and what that what next is. Equally, if you are interested in entrepreneurial success codes that I've mentioned a few times, join the trainings, drop me a message, ask, book one of the calls. Entrepreneurial Success Codes is an incredible space. It's my soulful certification, soulful leadership certification. It is there to help you unlock that inner power within you. It's there to help you align your energy, to empower you to build a business based on your version of success, to empower you to base a lifestyle on your version of success. It's a community of absolute trailblazers who are stepping into what it means to be totally unapologetically them and creating the most incredible journey on the way. So I will drop in the link for Entrepreneurial Success Codes, and then you can have a look. Let me just pull the link up. You can have a look at everything that it entails. Do not sign up on the website. Drop me a message if you are interested in signing up or book one of the calls. The links are on the page. Just drop that into the chat for you now, because I have something special for you. Okay, that is in there as well. So yeah, do not sign up on the page, book the call, drop me the DM, because I have something really exciting just for you who have been joining me on the call. Okay, I hope you have an incredible rest of the day. I have absolutely loved this quantum series. Make sure you are heading, you're booking the call. Come join me inside Entrepreneurial Success Codes. Come join me inside Money Mastery. I cannot wait to see you in those spaces. So take care, have an incredible rest of the day, and I will chat to you soon.